I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 93. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at ratedgforgamers@gmail.com. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Scorpio Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
No. I need a new introduction. I am Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Scorpio Robinson.
Right.
Yes, we both had it.
Yes.
So what's going on, man?
Well. It definitely has been a big week.
It is.
We are going to get into all of that stuff. Before we do that, we're going to PAX, baby. It's official.
Oh yeah,
it's official.
Yo, listen, shout out to Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to your friend Steve. Mutual, a friend of the show. Mm-hmm. We got PAX tickets. Don't know how we dropped the ball and we missed it.
Yeah. Steven definitely hipped us to that. And he's like, "Oh, you got to get those PAX tickets." Like, damn. So we went on. We got tickets. We got tickets for all 4 days. So we'll be there. Early April, I think. Right? That's when it goes down.
It's like it's earlier. It was now. It's 4 days. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will be there all 4 days.
That's right. It's gonna be a glorious 4 days of gaming. And we'll definitely be running around with the Rated G for Gamers t-shirts, handing out some swag, some stickers. So if you see us, definitely come say hi.
All right. So I know we always start the show or try to start the show and epically fail on what we've been playing, but I thought we'd do something different this week.
Oh,
why don't we start the show on our pickups this week?
All right. Well,
and Dave, why don't you kick us off?
I'm gonna
you get any big pickups or get anything at all this week?
I may have. Okay. We'll call back from last week. On the Dave scale, my pickups this week were fantastic. And I will tell you why.
You know what? If I had to give on the Dave scale, if I had to give the pickups, it was an eh.
Was it this week? You're
Yeah,
burying the lead right there.
It was eh.
No,
It was okay. It was okay.
All right. Look. So, people who follow us on the Instagram, they may have seen the pickup. I had a good day on Saturday.
You did. You got Congo Bongo.
I did. I got Congo Bongo for the Commodore VIC-20. I had
that was your biggest pickup of the week.
I had the 64 version, the Commodore 64 version, and the Atari version. They are slightly different. Sega made a ton of different versions of that game, but I love that game. I got the cart and the manual for that.
Nostalgia. You got nostalgia glasses.
I very much. No. It is quantifiably a good game.
Really? Okay.
Play the arcade version of Congo Bongo. I'm sure they have it in some like Sega collection pack or whatever, right? It's a Sega game from the early '80s. It's great. You avoid barrels. And you have to make it to the end of the stage where these like crazy monkeys are. It's great. It's great. But I picked that up. I picked up Baten Kaitos for GameCube. Nice little RPG. Wild Arms for PS2. Wild Arms 3. Dark Cloud for PS2. And Tokobot Plus, which I know nothing about, but it looked kind of cool. For a great price. And these are the guys I was telling you. We went to the Brooklyn Flea out in out in Brooklyn, New York, out on the island, right?
But we did that last year though.
We did that. We did that more than I think it was like 2015. I think.
Really? Was that early? That was when you got your Pikachu edition of 64.
That's right. I got my N64 Pikachu edition. Like, I called you up and I was like, look, you got to get over here because these guys have a lot of good stuff. And we got like crazy good prices on everything. So you picked up a bunch of stuff. I picked up a bunch of stuff. Really nice guys. And they were never at the flea market again. I'm like, But apparently they live over in, they live kind of like close by around the way. I found an ad online. I talked to the guy. I went by. I'm like, I recognize you guys. You were totally at the Brooklyn Flea. So, I got their number because they always get a bunch of good stuff, they said. So, we'll definitely be dealing with them in the future. So that was pretty good. But the big thing that came out, and everybody knows this because we posted it everywhere, Xbox One X. I got it.
Well, listen, not just the Xbox One X. We got the Xbox One X Project Scorpio
limited edition. We got the limited editions.
Well, listen, I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm not going to throw shade because I spent a lot of money for my Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah, well,
edition.
We both did. We paid the same price.
Which the pre-orders were sold out. But I looked yesterday. Amazon was put back on sale Xbox One Scorpio editions. So I don't know if it's sold out now. But you, as of yesterday, this recording Saturday, you can buy Xbox One Scorpio editions for $600.
Oh my God! Yeah,
on Amazon.
So we got it at a good price then.
We got it at a great price.
Yeah. So yeah, those were the
So yes, we got the Xbox One X Scorpio edition. I will say, we told the story again. I'm sorry. I got to rehash the story how we even picked this up because you picked it up as soon as it was announced. Yep. I went to bed early that day, right? And I woke up to your text messages at like 5 a.m. saying you got your pre-order in. I looked at Amazon, pre-orders were sold out. And I don't know why, but for some reason I went on Instagram and Microsoft sort of had like Xbox had like a one of those live shots, like like what's going on right now, and it was like a Gamescom, and it said Xbox Scorpio edition you can buy now, and I swipe up. And it was just like every time I put my credit card information in, I was like, this is going to tell me sold out. I put my address in, sold. I was like, it's going to say sold out. And I hit buy, and I was like, I got it. So it's like, so it was amazing that I got it. I'm happy I got it. Dave, you are the hugest Xbox fan that I know. What do you think? Well, you are. You are the biggest Xbox fan.
All right. Okay.
That I know of.
Okay, fair enough.
Besides me.
Yeah.
And I posted, and I don't know if you've seen my post from Instagram today. I posted just for you, buddy. I've been down since day one. I posted the Project Scorpio Edition controller and my day one 2013 Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was an early adopter, so I am not a hater. Thank you.
Well, okay, because I mean,
it's going to give it to you.
It's funny you call me the biggest Xbox fan, because the Xbox One, the original Xbox, the OG big VCR Xbox, was trash. It was trash. It was trash.
Stop it.
No. Quantifiably not great. Like,
it was fantastic.
Oh, was it? Was it better than PlayStation 2?
Listen, it wasn't better than PlayStation 2.
See, thank you.
It was better than N64. All right, you know what? Before we get into the Xbox One X, why don't we get into some early Xbox memories that we have? So I'm going to go first. I know for some reason you've been hating on their OG Xbox. Okay? I'm a big OG Xbox fan.
Well,
right?
I'm being a realist about the situation because I definitely have some good memories with the OG Xbox. So I don't want to be that down on it. Down on it.
It was at a time that I wasn't really in the game. I sort of was tapering off, and then I saw the commercials with it was like Mountain Dew commercials, right?
Yeah.
They had I think Mountain Dew sponsored like the original Xbox, And you saw it, and it was all over again. It was like Sega versus Nintendo because they marketed it as like this was like the cool system for cool kids,
Yep.
right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know, and so they had like the snowboarding and like the biker the biker games and stuff like that. Like I remember that like explicitly in my memory. I'm like I remember those commercials, and I was just like, wow, I really want to drink a Mountain Dew.
Well, they had a speaking of the marketing, they had a great commercial for Dead or Alive 3. It was really good. They were just like playing up the fact that it was like an over sexualized fighter, but it's like these two kids sitting down and their like jaws are on the floor, and she's like, it's like, wow, oh she kicks really high, and they just keep like saying all these things like about like, oh my god, that combo was so great or whatever. Like it was all like dancing around the fact that it was an over sexualized fighter. But I don't know, it was just like done really well. The marketing on that was like fantastic.
And listen, I'm a big Rock fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was big. I love The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Before The Rock was like even like super over because back then it was like Steve Austin was like the biggest thing in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock presented the Xbox at E3.
Sure.
Right. Even I knew about that. And I wasn't really into E3 at the time because I wasn't
Sure.
really playing games. So like the Xbox, I thought was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't afford it. I didn't even have a PS2. I was trying to buy a PS2 because I wanted to play DVDs,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
My little cousin who lived with me at the time, he had an Xbox and he had like this little game. I don't know, maybe you heard of it, called Halo.
See, yeah, Halo was the shit, man. I will definitely say that my best memories from Xbox One were with Halo, for sure.
So I just remember playing, just playing Halo with him, and I was like, yo, this game is awesome. Now, I never played online at the time. I'm a story guy. Even back then, when I wasn't in the games, I knew I wasn't playing online. I was like, I'm not playing online. I want to play the story. But I know, but you played in college, right? Halo.
Halo was a big thing. So like and like I said, I had PlayStation, and then I had the GameCube, and I was like, yeah, and then the Xbox comes out, and I know like a lot of people were down on it, and it had a hard uphill battle. But my friend got it. My friend Joe picked up the Xbox, and he had it, and you could do like the 4-player gaming on there and all that. Which was great. Like it was just like the Dreamcast. Hook up 4 controllers, you get the split screen going, and he came back with Halo, and we were all about it, like just right away. I was like, oh my god, like the graphics were like amazingly great. You could do the 2-player co-op through the story mode, which was definitely one of the first games to have that on the system. Like, the game looked great, and it had multiplayer, right? You could do up to 16 people over 4 different Xboxes through like a network hub, which was great, and it was really easy to do at college because we all had network connections. We were all on the same network, so we would we'd end up playing. It became a ritual on like Thursdays. We'd go out to the bodega, we get a bunch of beer, we bring it back, and we just play Halo like all night long. So yeah, I mean, like that, and that was like awesome. Like that was something you definitely couldn't do on PlayStation, and it was something you definitely couldn't do on GameCube.
Yeah. So I was, like I said, I really liked Halo. Like Halo, I mean, I wasn't a gamer, but I was playing Halo, and I never beat Halo.
Mm-hmm.
I always made it up. I think I made it pretty. I was pretty far. I put a lot of hours on Halo.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I never beat it though. I never beat it though.
Mm-hmm.
I made it pretty far in, and then I sort of tapered off. And I know I told this story probably like last year for our Christmas memories.
Mm-hmm.
I think like my best Christmas memory is when my aunt and younger cousin who lived with me at the time, they fell on hard times. Mm-hmm. My aunt didn't have any money to buy him a Christmas gift, and this is back when we worked at Circuit City together. I had the guys in the back hold me an Xbox 360 to the side so I could buy it when it launched. And, I was like, I got an Xbox 360, and my aunt was sort of like sad that she couldn't really buy her son anything for Christmas. So what I did was I wrapped it, put his name and my name on it, and I let him open it up for Christmas because he knew what the situation was, that they didn't really have any money. He wasn't getting any Christmas gifts. So he wasn't really into opening presents from under the tree because he didn't think he had any. And he had that one. I'll never forget. It was like a last minute decision to wrap it for him. So it was like the only thing we had at Circuit City was like this purple wrapping paper. It was so ugly. And I was like, I think there's another present under the tree for you. And he's like, for me? And you're right. He looked at it and he's like, oh wow, it's for me and you. And I was like, yeah, open it up. And he opened it up, biggest smile on his face. And I was just like, just so you know, that's ours. The OG Xbox 360, all white. And of course, one of the biggest games we played on it together was Halo 3.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So, I love the OG Xbox 360. I love the OG Xbox. I love the 360. Not the Xbox One so much, even though I'm fine. I love the S. I love the sleekness of the S. The S, I really love. Now we have the Scorpio editions. I will say one difference between the Scorpio edition and regular Xbox One X is the Scorpio editions come with a stand.
They do.
Where you can lay it down flat.
Have it upright. Yeah.
Apparently, just the regular Xbox One X's don't.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of weird, right? That they would do it that way.
I was never a put my system on the side type situation. I was never that guy unless I was like low on space. Which, like, I guess it's nice if you're in like a dorm room or like you have.
Well, let me say I'm that guy. That's low
you have
on
a small
space.
Bedroom or something. Sure. Yeah. I mean, like in that case, then it's great. But now, I have a full home entertainment center, so it's not really necessary. I slipped it in one of the shelves. It's all good to go.
Now you've been playing Xbox One X. Now, how do you like it? What games have you been playing?
I refired up Assassin's Creed Origins, because that game was like brand new and I put barely any time into it. Played that for a little bit. I think it ran better. It wasn't as laggy in spots where it was on the original Xbox One X. And I did notice the textures were better when you kind of get up close to things and whatnot. Like you can see you can really notice the 4K textures, I think. So I did that, and then today I was doing Tekken earlier in the day.
Nice. You still haven't beaten that game yet, have you?
I haven't beaten the story mode, but I mean, I just keep doing arcade and multiplayer. Is really where it's at.
Okay.
But like every time.
Well, let's go back a little bit. Now you have a 4K like 60-inch TV on your wall, right?
55,
curved,
but yeah.
55 curved TV on your wall,
right?
So you can use Xbox One X to its full potential,
almost its full potential.
You don't have the HDR feature on your TV.
Sadly, no. I thought that it would do it, but the backlighting on the TV isn't. It's not the right kind of backlighting, so it can't do the local dimming. So you can't really get true blacks on the screen. Like basically, to get the HDR to work properly, you need to be able to turn any part of the screen completely black. And because of the way the lighting is, it doesn't necessarily work. So when I went into Xbox, I went into the settings to turn all the stuff on, 4K textures and the performance and all that. Oh, not the performance, the quality over performance and whatever else. The HDR thing was just like blacked out. So I was like, well, got to get myself a new TV. This is unacceptable.
Gotcha.
So I can use most of the features, and I have to say it looks pretty damn good.
So I don't have a 4K TV yet. I do have two Sony TVs on my wall, both 1080p. And I told you my goal, because I spent all this money on the Scorpio edition, my goal was to buy. First, I have two 40-inch TVs on my wall.
Right.
You
do the two TVs side by side.
Yes, my goal was to buy another 40-inch TV, a 4K TV. I went to Best Buy. I buy online, right? So I went to Best Buy just so I can actually look at the TVs. I know the differences between, HDR, the two HDRs, and I know the different 4K and 1080p and all that stuff. But it doesn't really hit you until you see it. So I went to Best Buy today, and I completely changed my mind of what I was going to do. I'm not going to buy another 40-inch TV to go side by side. I'm going to give both these TVs. I'm going to give one to my mother, one to my sister. I'm going to buy a 60-inch 4K bad boy.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to do.
I've been telling you for the longest. I'm so happy for you. You're going to be very happy with it. Telling you, it's going to be a good time.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this puppy to the max.
Mm-hmm.
So all right. So I've been playing a lot I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins as well, and I've been playing Super Lucky's Tale.
Okay.
Super Lucky's Tale.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if Super Lucky's Tale sort of has any visual upgrades, but to me, I see zero difference other than it's a little bit faster.
I think it does, but it's kind of hard to tell because it's just like flat cartoony graphics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's not like an insane amount of textures or a lot of detail. Yeah, everything's very simple. So I think that game is a hard gauge. You know, it's hard to use that as a gauge.
Well, not even Super Lucky's Tale. I have Assassin's Creed Origins, which was sort of upscaled.
Yeah.
But I don't see the difference between the S and the X because of 4K TV.
Yeah.
So I don't see the benefit, which is why I am super hyped that I made a decision in the next couple of weeks, probably after Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I'm going to buy me a 4K 60-inch TV. I'm just going to go all in. I'm going all in.
Let me just ask you this too. You did download the patch update, right? For
Yes.
Assassin's Creed. Okay, cool.
So, and again, like I said, it looks great. It doesn't. I visually don't see the difference.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I don't
But
have.
you notice-
First of all, I don't have the side by side comparison.
Yeah.
So, it to me, it looks the same. It looks great. It looks awesome. It looks amazing. It looks, in Dave's words, fantastic.
On the Dave scale, it's fantastic.
But I just don't see
the
I mean, between S and X.
I kind of agree with you too. Like even seeing the enhanced textures and whatever else in like Origins and Tekken, it's still. I mean, the games still need to run on the original Xbox One X hardware. You know, they're not trying to split the user base, so it's not going to be like night and day.
So what do all right? So IGN gave this a 9. A lot of outlets have given it a 9.
The system as a whole.
The system as a whole.
Uh-huh.
It is, as advertised, the most powerful console known to man.
It is. It's finally, it is quantifiably more powerful than the PS4 Pro currently.
Which I will say, when I made the decision to buy a 4K TV, like the good one, I'm not buying a $400 4K TV.
No,
I'm buying.
Can't get a budget.
I'm buying the big puppy. Okay, I'm buying the 60-inch. All right, it's gonna cost me anywhere between $900 to $1,200.
Yeah,
I'm buying a PS4 Pro. I pray it will go on sale this holiday season. I am buying PS4 Pro. I'm buying this TV for that benefit to game. So I need all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, man. Look. Sometimes you just gotta treat yourself. And it's perfectly fine.
The good advice from Dave Rotino. Sometimes you just gotta treat yourself.
Just gotta go treat yourself.
Overall, I would say if I had to give it a review, it would be a review in progress because I can't really use it to its full capability.
Yeah.
But it is nice to have. It is finally nice to have an Xbox that's standing up right next to my PlayStation 4 that's black. And
oh, there you go. Right? Yeah. Because you had the 1S that was white. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I still use the 1S though. Don't get me wrong. I have a 32-inch computer monitor on my desk, and I have the 1S that's standing up next to it. So if I want to do any game capturing, I can just easily do it from my computer and still watch a movie.
Oh, nice.
So, all right. So you got into what you picked up today, this week. So let me get into my pickups. Of course, I got the Xbox One X Scorpio Edition.
Right.
All my pickups sort of came all at once. Other than the Scorpio, I got launched on Tuesday. I got all my pickups sort of like on Friday for some reason. A bunch of stuff I ordered on eBay and Amazon sort of came in all at once. So I'll give you a highlight of some of them, not all of them. I finally got Wario Woods for the NES.
The last game to ever come out in America on the NES.
Yes, I got that. I got Simpsons Hit and Run for the GameCube. Now, I thought I had this game, but I had other Simpsons games, which was funny. And this is sort of like one of the best ones I keep hearing. It's sort of like Grand Theft Auto, just with the Simpsons in it. So whenever I hear about like a game like this, like, like a hidden gem, I try to get it on the GameCube. If it came out on all 3 platforms, I already have like 300 PS2 games. And I'm close to having almost 200 OG Xbox games, so I'm trying to bolster my GameCube collection. So whenever I hear a game like this, which is a little bit more expensive, that's going to be on the GameCube, I try to buy it for the GameCube, and I got it for a good price. Do
you take into account which one is the best for all 3 platforms, or are you just like, I want to get my GameCube collection up?
If there's something that's just totally different, like. With the next generation, when it was like the Wii, PS3, and Xbox 360, where it's like, hey, the Wii version is just totally different. Like Ghostbusters, right? Ghostbusters was the game was more cartoony in the Wii version because it couldn't handle those realistic graphics at the time that the 360 and PS3 version had. So I bought both.
Severely underpowered, yeah.
Yeah, so I bought both. And in this case, I heard it was sort of, the best version would probably be the PS2 version, I would assume, but there was no real big difference in the actual gameplay or the story on all 3 platforms. So I want to bolster up my my GameCube collection.
All right.
So I got it for GameCube. Matterfall, listen, man, they said these type of games are dead. They got it from PS4. I actually got it for Region 2.
You got the European version?
I don't think there was an American version that came out.
Oh shit! Okay. What
was that? What was the one of those early launch games for Infamous? The Infamous game. The DLC came out. Dying Light. No, not Dying Light. It was the Infamous game. The DLC that came out didn't get a physical release. I got the DLC. I beat it. It was a standalone story. I got a physical release in Europe, so I bought the European version because I have the game. I paid for it. I beat it, so I wanted to have a physical version.
Oh, nice.
Rogue Trooper for PS2. Everyone was talking about this game because it came out digitally on the Switch.
It did, so yeah. They made a remake for some reason.
I know. I know. Actually, funny enough, if you look back, Metal Jesus has this as one of his hidden gems for PS2.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's why you went out to pick it up.
Yes. I was like, why am I going to buy the Switch version? I just buy the PS2. Have a physical release. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Sneak King for Xbox 360. Got to get that Burger King game.
Oh my God. Yeah. If anybody remembers back, during the original Xbox, they made like 3 or 4. Burger King produced 3 or 4 Xbox games for like $2-3. You buy them at the store with your meal, and they starred the Burger King.
I honestly forgot about this game, so I picked that game up.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun, I have to say.
So, and then we should live stream that one day.
Yeah,
I picked up. I was watching Wrestle Talk on YouTube, and they did weird. They did a weird top 10 worst WWE games of all time. And I don't know if I agree with their list because Betrayal for Game Boy Color was on their list. But that's on a lot of, that's on gamer website, not website, but gamer channels. That's like a hidden gem because that was sort of like, you're not wrestling, but sort of like a beat 'em up when you had to save Stephanie McMahon. You could play as like 4 different characters. So it's like
Betrayal for the Game Boy Advance?
No, I think it was Game Boy Color.
Wow, I do not remember this game.
Yeah, it's like Stephanie McMahon got kidnapped, and you had to find, you had to find her.
Weird. Okay.
And then it turns out that Vince acts. I think you could play as Triple H, The Rock, Undertaker, or Stone Cold. It was one of those 4.
Okay.
And Vince McMahon was like, she's been kidnapped. I need someone to rescue her. And it's like a beat 'em up. And depending on which character you pick, the boss battles change.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So if you pick the Undertaker, like I think Kane is like one of the bosses, right? So And then when you get to the end, you find out that it was all a plot from Vince McMahon to kidnap Stephanie. You know, WWE crazy storylines from the early 2000s.
Right.
That's like a hidden gem on a lot of people's list, and they have it as like like one of the top 10 worst wrestling games of all time.
Wow. Okay.
So this is why when they said that WWE Crash Hour was sort of like a monster truck game.
Oh my god.
That came out. Was a bad game. I had to pick this up, and of course, it came out on all 3 platforms. So I picked it up for the GameCube to bolster my GameCube collection.
Wow, that was a roundabout way to get to that pickup. Okay.
Well, that's how I looked at the list and I was like, yeah, that was a bad game. Yeah, that was a bad game. No, that was a hidden gem. I have it. I played it. It's not that bad. Stop it. Why is this on this list? Why is it high on this list? And then the next one was Crash Hour, and I was like, you know what? This list sucks. I'm gonna buy Crash Hour myself. And
if you play that more than 20 minutes, I'd be impressed.
I think you're gonna be impressed. I'm gonna play more than 20 minutes just for that. So I got Top Secret Episode Golgo 13,
yeah,
for NES.
That game, okay, that game is weird and a half. I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's cigarette smoking in there. There's definite allusions to sex in that game, and it's like 10 games in one, right? It's like a It's like an adventure game where you have to go around and get clues and figure out what's going on, and then it's a beat 'em up, and then it's a like sniper shooter, and then it's like a maze crawler. It does all these different things. It's insane.
Nice.
It's insane. You have to play that game.
I also I picked up the Retro City Rampage DX Collector's Edition.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I got the 3D glasses, I got the keychain, I got all that stuff in it.
Nice.
That's an awesome pickup. Sold out now.
Mm-hmm.
By V-Blink, the same guys who put out a physical edition of Guacamelee. Yeah. I picked up Kid Icarus for Game Boy. We were talking about that, and I was like, you know what? I forgot there was a Kid Icarus for Game Boy. It was the only kid. They only made 3, and I have the other 2, so I must have the Game Boy games to have all 3 games.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And then just on a whim, I went to a garage sale sort of earlier, like last Sunday, and I was like, it's probably not going to have anything, right? And I got there, and it was raining, funny enough. In the middle of the rain, I saw, what do you see when you see most garage sales? You see a lot of Wii stuff. People want to get rid of it, right?
Always the Wii games.
And I was just like, hey, do you have any other games? And listen, just as a tip, if you're going to be a collector and you're going to go to garage sales, always ask questions. Okay? All right? Follow the tips, man. I'm going to say we're gonna do lesson 1. Ask questions when you go to the garage sale. And she was just like, my husband has all these games he wants to get rid of. He has old games he wants to get rid of, but he's not here. He's at work. And I said, well, I'm willing to buy it. So she pulled out the box.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, she's just like, hey, it's like 3 for $5 or something like that. So I'm looking 2 for $5. It's like 2 for $5 or whatever the price was. I forgot whatever. And lesson 2, I don't care what the price is. They say you haggle. Okay. So I looked and she had a bunch of PS1 games. I didn't want to be here in the rain. I came all this way. I was leaving with something. Mm-hmm. I would have bought the PS2. They had PS2 for a good price, really good price. But it looked kind of broken, and it's not exactly something I could test outside in the rain, because it was like an apartment complex.
Yeah.
So I still didn't want to. I didn't want to pay the $25 for even if it is it looked like it kind of looked real beat up. So I wasn't going to buy that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did pick up HBO Boxing for PS1. Just the highlights. I picked up a bunch of PS1 games. I got HBO Boxing for PS1, Chicken Run PS1, and a game I never even heard of, Cyber Tiger.
Wait. What game for PS1? What was that last game?
Chicken Run.
Oh, Chicken Run. Oh, okay.
And I picked up a game. And I picked up a game I never even heard of, Cyber Tiger. It's a Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that's
game.
right. It was like a cartoon chibi tiger, Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I never even heard of that game.
Yeah.
So those are the highlights. I picked up a bunch of PS1 games.
Nice.
Nothing notable. No real hidden gems in there, but.
Mm-hmm.
I talked it down to like $2-3 a game.
Hey, nice.
So also what I've been playing You already know I've been playing Super Lucky's Tale. Well, I think honestly that's an underrated game. If this game would have came out during the platform era, during the late '90s, I think it would have been people would have been nostalgic for it, like they were Spyro.
Mm-hmm.
It's out now. We have to call it. First of all, this is a bad time for this game to come out.
Yeah.
This game came. They're putting this out during the holiday season. It's getting buried. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's just this is not the. This is you know what? This is the summer game. This is the game you put out in August. Okay, when people actually need something to play.
Right. During like the summer dry months. Yeah.
Yes, this is what you play at August, July. You don't put this out during the holidays. This is just getting buried.
So it's it's a little more indie. It's probably not as AAA, right?
No, yeah, and
it's not
I gotta say,
it's not gonna get the eyeballs that it would.
My biggest complaint about the game, which I like the game. It's a little boring to be honest, because you're doing a lot of collecting. It's a collectathon.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely a collectathon.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest issue with the game is the camera. So I remember, because you jump, you're even jumping on just, you're jumping on sort of the buildings and stuff, the structures and stuff, because you never know where there's a hidden coin.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera keeps shifting, just like bad cameras back in the day when we had platformers.
Yeah.
And I was seeing through the wall, right?
Oh, no.
Like the cameras made me see through the wall. So I tried to jump on top and I went through the wall and died.
Oh boy.
And I was like, I almost threw my controller. And then I was like, no, this is my Scorpio Edition controller. And
yeah.
This may not be a 4K TV, but it's still a new TV. I don't want to break it. So the game, I think I'm gonna play a lot more of that game. I put in at least an hour and a half of that game. I like that game.
Okay.
A game I'm probably not gonna play a lot more of. Bubsy. I bought the Bubsy game for PS4. I've been on my platformer last.
I am mystified that they redid Bubsy. Because Bubsy was not a well-received game. It was mediocre at best, and then just became the butt of internet gaming jokes.
And this game is no different.
Yeah. Well, who do you know who developed it?
The same developer developed the other Bubsy games. I can't think.
Oh wow, was it Accolade? Because I thought they went under. I think they did the original.
So. Yeah, I think exactly.
Wow. All right. Interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah, Accolade. I'm looking at it right now.
Wow. Okay. Okay. For some reason, I thought they went out of business, but all right. Well, good on them for still staying in business. Good on them for putting out Bubsy again.
Bubsy, the Woolies Strike Back
Yeah.
is a bad game. The controls suck.
Hopefully they make
Just
a patch. Hopefully they make a patch for it.
Just like they sucked on the original games.
Yeah. Oh.
I just, I'm trying to do the high jumps, and it's like you gotta jump and hit, it's like you gotta jump and then you gotta accelerate. So it's like I'm jumping, and it's so hard to hit those little platforms accurately. It really is.
Right.
The game sucks. I'm probably not gonna. I'll, as I always do, I have a motto: try again, and if it sucks the second time, put it down.
Sure. So, I have to admit, you were definitely the best at. I will give this game its fair share. I will try and enjoy this game. I do have to say that you will give every game its due.
Like if Dave says the game sucks, it's probably bad, but maybe try it. If I say the game sucks, it's really bad because I will continue to play it and try to love it.
Mm-hmm.
So but let's get into a game that I really, I've changed my mind on, and that is Call of Duty WW2. I kind of really dig this game now.
Yeah, you getting into it.
I'm getting into it. Listen,
nice.
When I played it for the first time last week, and we talked about it last week, and I said, I'm not really into this game. I'm more of a futuristic type of shooter person.
Yeah.
I was talking from a person who played, the last 3 years of futuristic Call of Duty games where I can, I'm practically Batman, right? I can jump high and punch hard and I have a super powered gun.
Sure.
And you have regenerating health, so I can run in, duck, get my health back, go back in, running gun type of, and that's how I play games.
Yeah. I mean, like it fits with your play style. Yeah.
So this game, I had to get used to the fact that I have to be more strategic. Not that I have to be stealth, even though there are some stealth moments where you ultimately may make a misstep and it goes from stealth to action combat.
Oh, I see.
You can still get out of it
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. You can still get out of it.
Okay.
So, you just have to be sort of strategic and do a lot of ducking and a lot of sniping.
Mm-hmm.
So, I will say the game has grown on me, and maybe it's because of the story. I'm invested, unlike other people who aren't really invested in Call of Duty characters. I'm really a story-based driven gamer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really invested in the story, and it doesn't hurt that the guy's last name is Daniels, and everyone keeps saying Daniels, right?
Yeah.
So, I really would love the super jump, and I really would love a futuristic weapon, but because I'm so invested in the story and I've lost, I'm not going to spoil the game, but you lose some of the guys in the beginning.
Oh,
you just have to get used to sort of like your platoon, the people you're going in battle with.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them, but like you have like 4 or 5 attributes that they help you out with. If you want armor, you want health. You want to spot enemies, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Once
There's
you
a guy
use it,
for every situation.
there's a guy for every situation. Once you use it, they have to sort of like refresh.
Yeah,
right?
they have like
Replenish.
that cooldown time. Yeah.
So, if you want health, hey, you can find health on the floor, or if your guy is ready with a health pack, he gives it to you, the medic.
Mm-hmm.
But then now you got to wait for him to for that thing to recycle, sort of replenish, and now he has another health pack, which takes a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be careful. You can't run and gun in this game,
Right.
and it's like I said, they have their elements of stealth where it wasn't too bad, where like the whole game is stealth, like
Right.
the old Assassin's Creed games. But when you get spotted, you can sort of run and gun ish, but you gotta just take heed. You don't have replenishing health. You gotta just do a lot of ducking, do a lot of sniping.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm invested in the story. I'm probably going to beat it. I think I'm like halfway through the game. I'm already in the middle of like
Well, it's your tradition,
heavy
right?
Nazi
You beat it every
territory.
year.
I do. It's my
Make it a
tradition. I
thing.
beat it every year.
Yeah.
This one is taking me a little bit longer because I'm not running and gunning.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So the last game I've been playing, and we're getting into an actual review roundup for this game, is Sonic Forces.
Oh boy.
So before I give my thoughts, let's give what everybody else thought
Sure.
about the game. So it has a Metacritic score. I'm not going to go into each system.
Right.
The highest Metacritic score it has is 59.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of mixed reviews. I got to say, a lot of mixed reviews. It was IGN gave it a 69, GameSpot gave it a 50, Polygon gave it a 55,
Mm-hmm.
Games Radar gave it a 50. Nintendo Life gave it a 60, Game Informer gave it a 65, and then you got some good scores. You got XGN gave it a 75.
Mm-hmm.
No idea what XGN is. Never heard of it before. PlayStation Lifestyle gave it an 80. Switch Player gave it a 70, and Hardcore Gamer gave it a 70 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just suspicious.
That's like
I'm
mediocre to good, I guess.
I'm kind of suspicious that we don't have sort of a Forbes or a Wall Street Journal rating.
Nothing from Yahoo, nothing from Maxim magazine.
Yeah. It's just, a little weird, but okay.
Well,
Yeah, listen, I always try to give you that review from a outlet I never heard of, and I never heard of
XGN is this week's Forbes.
Yes. I gave it a good score. I gave it a 75.
Sure.
So I've been playing. I played a fair amount of Sonic Forces.
Okay.
On the Switch. I'm playing on the Switch. Full disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best part of the game is that you get to make your character. It's not you're not always just playing a Sonic.
Yeah,
you're playing as this made up character, which I thought was pretty cool. And you sort of have like a weapon that gives you like a certain ability where you get the fire. You can like sort of like the whip in Uncharted 4, where you can sort of throw it and glide, and just throw it and swing to the next platform. the story is all over the place. This game doesn't feel finished. This game feels like it needs to come out next year. It has a lot of good elements. I don't. They just failed to make a really good 3D Sonic game again. I gotta be honest. When you're actually playing a game, it feels like it's on autopilot. I don't feel like I'm playing the game. Like when you're running fast through when you're running fast through a level, it feels like it's running fast and you're not running fast. Like it's automatically running fast.
Yeah.
Unlike Mario Odyssey, where you see a place, you pretty much can go to it, or like Zelda, you see a place, you can pretty much go to it.
Yeah.
On Sonic, it leaves much to be desired, because I'm like, why can't I go here? I want to go here. This looks awesome. You can either go up or down, right? You can either go up or down. I want to. It's 3D. I want to go to the side, and you can't do that. And I just can't tell you how much the story just makes no sense. I'm so confused. I gotta be honest.
I could have told you, and I did. I think I did tell you, don't get this game. Now, I haven't played this game, but I have seen video playthroughs online and whatnot because I was curious about it. And as of now, I'm not going to be picking this game up and playing this game, so I'm fine with people running through the story and whatever else, and I'll just watch other people play it and see how it is.
And look, I know. Okay, this is minor spoilers, but it really pissed me off.
Yeah.
Okay. Minor spoilers. It's the beginning of the game. Okay. So if you watch any first 15 minutes of a game on IGN,
right,
or
they'll have this in the footage.
They will have this in the footage. Just minor spoilers. Eggman comes and all of Sonic's enemies, come out, and it's like, how is this possible that they're all like together, right? You don't know, and I'm not going to tell you how. And Sonic is defeated and he's captured. Thus, your new character, who they deem the rookie, you're doing a lot of the early platforming because you have to rescue Sonic, right? Apparently, they don't know if he's dead or alive because Knuckles is like their leader, right? Knuckles now is like the de facto leader. He's like the general. They don't know if Sonic is dead or alive, and people are doing, and finally, you find, hey, Sonic is alive. Eggman's kept him alive so he can, Sonic can witness the ultimate destruction. And then they cut to Sonic, and you're playing as Sonic, who escapes, and who, for someone who's been captured and tortured for 6 months, looks just like how he was at the beginning of the game. He hasn't lost a step. He has no bruises. He looks like he's fine. Eggman obviously hasn't starved him. And my number 2 complaint of this game, which really should be my number 1 complaint, the story just doesn't make any sense because they tie it into Sonic Mania. Why did they tie it in Sonic Mania? Why is the original Sonic in the game? Because he just shows up and they're like, oh, you're the original Sonic because you don't talk. You have no voice. Doesn't make any sense. But my second biggest complaint of the game is the boss. Like, I went from playing hours and hours of Mario Odyssey where you have a boss battle where sort of what you have to do to beat him. Sure. It's just challenging. Really obvious, it's just challenging to do it. And every time you hit him, it increases, right? The challenge increases. Here, it is not obvious what you need to do to beat the boss. It just isn't. Like, even on the first big boss, I had to go through a walkthrough because I was like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not hitting him? I looked through a walkthrough and I'm like, I did that. And that didn't happen when I did that. So I'm doing it. Not happening. I quit. Go back. Restart the boss battle. Do it again. And now it's like, oh, now I can hit him. I was so I was so like infuriated because I would lose, do it, and I'm like, what am I missing? I must have lost, literally, I'm not even lying, I lost like 30 times. Oh my god. And in the first boss, and I'm like, why is this I think this is what you have to do. It's not working. Look through the walkthrough. He's doing exactly what I did. And he's like getting the hit meter where you get to hit him. Right. I had to reset the game, go back and do it for me to get that hit meter. So already there was a glitch. Yeah. So I was pissed. So
okay, so you brought up. I wanted to bring up this one quick point because you brought up Odyssey, right? And you brought up Odyssey in terms of the gameplay. When you're fighting the bosses, like, everything just kind of feels intuitive, and it may like end up dying once or whatever on a boss, but you have an idea of what to do, right?
Yes.
It feels pretty obvious and scripted, and you can, I just got to do this and do that, and it gets increasingly tougher and whatnot. The thing that I'll say about it in comparison to Mario is, like, this Sonic game thematically feels like it's all over the place, right? Like,
it is.
You look at Mario, right? And you look at the last, Big Mario 3D game, which was like, I guess, let's just say Galaxy 2, and then this is the successor to that, or even like 3D World, right? Mario feels like Mario. The world feels the same. It has like a similar tone to it. This Sonic game is all over the place, right? They got Hoobastank to do the soundtrack. Sonic's all super snarky. Like, it just, I don't know. It just doesn't. It just rubs me the wrong way. It doesn't really feel right. Like you said, like the story's bananas. It doesn't even really make any sense. Like the Mario story is ridiculous, but at least it makes sense. There's like some cohesion to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Bowser still is Peach. Bowser's going to marry Peach. Mario has to save Peach. All right. It's simple, simple story. They lay it out, but it's good and it's charming and it's in its own Mario way, So I don't know.
Listen, only diehard Sonic fans, people, Sonic 06 apologists would love this game.
Oh my God. All two of those people.
I would say I like this game.
Okay.
And that's me giving it a second chance, saying I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I like the part that here's one of the parts I really like, when you have your new character and you get to play with him and Sonic at the same time, sort of, right?
Okay.
When you get through levels and you hit certain milestones in each level, when you collect certain things, coins and whatever, you get new clothes. And you get new, like a new ability for your new guy, for the rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Rookie.
Yeah.
So that part is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I have nothing really enticing me to go back to play. I mean, I want to go back to Mario Odyssey and get more moons.
Yeah.
I'm over 200 right now. So I just don't see, I just don't feel the need to go back and play, but I will go back and play because I always give it a second chance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get into the top gaming news of the week. All right, and we're back. All right, let's get into the news. So we got our Xbox One X's, and IGN gave it a 9. A lot of people gave it sort of like the similar scores. But the main issue people have been saying, where are the games? Right?
Sure.
I mean, right now Switch is on fire because you can play it portably.
Yep.
PlayStation sort of has already a huge lead. So they have a huge install base. So a lot of people are buying games just on their PS4.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what is the reason? We have this most powerful console in history, but what entices me to play games on it that I can solely play on the platform? And Phil Spencer has sort of answered that, sort of. He says, we need to grow, and we look forward to doing that. And pretty much it looks like Microsoft is investing a lot of money in studios to make more first-party games.
Mm-hmm.
So my response to that is, I hope this has been in the works, right?
Well,
because it takes 2, 3, maybe 4 years.
It does,
counting delays.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just put this plan out saying like, hey, we want more first party support. We're gonna dump a lot of money into it. And it's like, great, and now you gotta wait for the devs to build those games.
Yeah, which could be it takes time, and by the time they build the new games, it'll be the next generation.
Right.
So they're not really building games for the most powerful console ever. So I think there were rumors like last year that they were investing like 200-300 million dollars in the first party studios.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this has been in the works for at least the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer did say, I hate to cut you off. Phil Spencer did say, and this was sort of like everyone took it as sort of a dig to Sony,
Mm-hmm.
that he doesn't want to showcase games so early to where they're not coming out for another 2-3 years, right?
Yeah.
My response to that was, and still is, you need the games that you keep in secret. You need the Fallout 4s, right? You need to have that big game and it's coming out this holiday, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you need to get your install base excited. Why should I keep, playing on Xbox platform? Tell me what's coming out. Yes, PlayStation for the last 2 years we've heard about Spider-Man, God of War, right? But we know they're coming. So we're still excited about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's we know Death Stranding's coming. It's not even a game yet. It's just a concept, right? And everyone is excited for that. And everyone says that's the PlayStation 5. That's one of the PlayStation 5's launch games, right?
Yeah.
That's how far out it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have those games that you keep close to the chest, close to the vest, that you don't reveal yet, but you got to get your install base excited.
You do. You have to kind of dangle some meat out there. You got to get the animals to the yard. You got to bring them in. You got to give them something, for sure. And this isn't the first time that they've done this either. Like trying to garner first party support. I mean, it even says in the article here that they had. They basically took in Rare from Nintendo. They gave them like sacks of money. Here you go, Rare, come on board. They got BioWare up in the mix. They got Lionhead Studios up in the mix, which made all the Fable games.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna throw you a curveball, Dave. We've talked about what Switch games we want to see, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about the Switch games that maybe ports or new IP.
Uh-huh.
That we would like to see. What would you like to see on the X? What would you want to play on the Xbox One X?
Like you're talking like any game that's not owned by
First
Sony
party.
or Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm not saying we want to see a Mario on Xbox One X or anything like that.
Right. That's just never gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and all right, and I'll go first to maybe give you some time if you want to think about it for a second. I'm a huge Gears of War fan. Gears of War for me is my Xbox Uncharted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I love Gears of War. Just like Xbox. I mean, just like on PlayStation, I beat Uncharted Golden Abyss for the PS Vita. I even beat Judgment. I beat Gears of War.
The worst of the bunch, yeah.
For the 360. So, I love that series. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil the ending of Gears of War 4, but there is a Gears of War 5 coming.
Right, of course. They're not gonna kill that franchise anytime soon.
I don't know if that's going to be for Xbox One, or and if it is, it's definitely sort of like The Last of Us, where it's like that last hurrah for the platform, or maybe the first hurrah for the Xbox 2, right? So, I would love a 4K, HDR Gears 5 for the platform, where I have the same elements of shooting, but maybe mixing up some racing, maybe sort of like have some racing on the bikes on there as well.
Do it like Halo style.
Yeah. They got the bikes, right? They got the chainsaw looking bikes. So I would love to mix it up a little bit. And maybe even fly in an airplane, maybe a spaceship, right? So mix it up a little bit.
I think that's almost a no-brainer. That's definitely coming. So you're gonna get your wish fulfilled, guaranteed. It's a good pick though.
Well, you know what? It's a pick from the heart. Right? I mean, again, it's something that Mario, not Uncharted. Obviously, those things are never going to come.
Yeah.
But that's something that I would love to see. I would love to play right now on my Xbox One X to its fullest, capability when I get my 4K TV.
Well, I mean, okay, so I have 2 picks. Like in the same vein of Gears of War, let's get a new Halo going. Last one came out 2015. I want to
Yeah,
say.
it's about 4 years. About Halo is about 4 or 5 years between all of them. So I would say
they have a little bit of
2019,
time,
2020.
so they
So
put like a trailer this year at E3, just a teaser, Master Chief teaser. Like, all right, I'm on board. That's all I need. That's all.
predictions, early predictions.
Mhm.
E3, we're going to see a lot of new IP, first party IP from Xbox.
Microsoft. Yeah. I think you're right. One game that's an existing franchise that I would like to see that's not from any Microsoft-owned studio, but was an original Xbox exclusive, Jet Set Radio. Bring that guy back.
True. That is true.
That guy back. Right? Is probably one of my favorite games. It is one of my favorite games of all time. I love the series. I love Future. That was an Xbox OG Xbox exclusive. I think it's about time for a new one. They could do so much with that game franchise. The last game came out like 2002. It's been 15 years almost to the day when that game came out.
Microsoft Sunset Overdrive 2. I think it'll sell now.
There you go.
I think it'll sell. I think it'll sell now.
Also another good pick, yeah.
So, but anyway, you never know. Like I said, these games had to be this had to be in the works the last 2 years, behind the scenes, so we can actually see some gameplay and get excited for it for next year and the year after, right? Because we don't know. I mean, we got these mid-generation upgrades, right?
Yeah,
sort of in the middle of the generation.
A little bit of a stopgap,
We don't know when the next generation is going to come, but Ubisoft thinks they know. Ubisoft CEO thinks the next generation is 2 years away. So it's sort of like announced in 2019 to be released in 2020, like either late 2019 or early 2020. I would just add a year to that only because I think the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X sort of is Microsoft and Sony's way of extending this generation another 4 years, so to speak.
I would kind of agree with that sentiment, but I think it was more to get on the level of PC gaming because that was moving so far ahead, and
that's true.
I think there's that aspect as well. So if it does last 4 years, great, because then I can justify my $500 purchase or our $500 purchase. I think it's going to be 2. I think it's going to be 2. Yeah, we probably won't hear anything this year, but I bet 2018 E3 we'll hear about the new console.
Honestly, I think it's too soon. I think we're gonna get a lot of those PlayStation games next year. And I think we'll hear about it E3 2019, right?
Yeah.
For a 2020 or 2021 release.
Well, here's the reason I say that, because these are extending the life. The PS4 Pro and the One X are extending the life of this generation, right? And the Switch is now coming into the fray, coming out swinging, and that's going to extend the life of the generation a little bit. But
well, is the Switch even considered this generation? Because it is an upgrade. The Wii U was considered the generation for Xbox One, and I mean it started off the generation of Xbox One.
Yeah, it did. I would still put it in this generation. Yeah, you could have 2 entries from the same company. Sure.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
I think I honestly think they count the Wii U as the beginning of the generation. I think the Switch is counting, especially if you're right and they come out with the PS5 or Xbox 2 or whatever, right? If they announce it in 2018, then I think the Switch is the Switch was the beginning of the next console generation. Compared to if they come out in 2020, then Nintendo would need to respond with like a Super Switch.
Okay, sure. But the reason I think it's going to come out sooner than later is that even though you have these new consoles, both companies, Sony and Microsoft, have stated that we don't want to split the user base, right? Every game will be playable on the One X as well as the original Xbox, the PS4 Pro, and the original PS4. So the games still need to run in some facet on the less powerful hardware, which means you can't crank it up to 11, because if you get a poor experience on the original Xbox, like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to throw their hands up and go, what is this, we saw that happen with like Hyrule Warriors on the 3DS. If you didn't have the new 3DS XL, it ran really poorly. So we've seen like isolated incidents, and those games did not do very well. If all of the new AAA titles run okay on the One X or the PS4 Pro and not on the original hardware, I think fans are going to be upset, and so they're not going to be able to like go balls to the wall because they still have to support the old systems. That's why I think the new systems are 2 years out, 2.5, 3 years maybe tops.
Okay, well, if it's 3 going on 4, I think that's more realistic because I think the Pro, again, like I said, I think the Pro and I think the X, the most powerful console ever, I think these are supposed to sustain this, generation with the higher graphics, higher, 4K TV with the boom with the 4K HDR until, here's the thing. What's the justification of a PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2? Obviously, they're already in R&D. They're usually in R&D for these things like a year or two after the console is released, correct? So what's the reason I'm buying a PS5, right? Like give me the reason, and it can't be 4K, right? Because that's what you advertise the Pro to be, right? So or in Microsoft's case, why am I buying an Xbox 2 or Xbox, 850 or whatever it's called? I mean, right?
That's easy. It's all about the graphics. If it looks better than the previous generation, they can make you feel inadequate about having the older version, right? It's the whole thing with the iPhone, right? Here's this brand new shiny piece, and it's bigger and it's better and it does all the things that your old phone can't do. And then you feel like, I need this new piece of hardware. And that's how they always market it. You know?
But then I don't, with my phone, like because I'm getting the 4K TV and I have to get the Pro now.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Pro to come out. Yeah. And I think I know which Sony 60-inch TV I'm going to get. I'm now out of the running to get an X because I can't afford it.
Right.
So I'm probably going to upgrade because I'm looking to switch providers. I have AT&T. I'm looking to switch to Verizon maybe. So I'm just probably going to get an 8.
Yeah.
So,
but you're still getting an upgrade in some facet though, right? That's
how because if I wasn't switching carriers, I probably wouldn't get an upgrade because I'm buying all of this stuff.
Well, sure.
And the difference with getting the upgrade is I could pay $20 extra a month compared to paying the $1,000 or well, first of all, the X is $44 extra a month.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Right?
I understand.
Compared to getting,
I got my phone in a payment plan, man.
Yeah, compared to getting an 8, right? And I can just pay $20 a month.
Yeah.
Right, and then upgrade next year to whatever the next thing is, right? The 9, right, and not the X1 because that's probably what it's going to be,
or whatever it is. Yeah.
So, but I honestly, maybe this is my heart talking because I spent a lot of money for this X, and I'm gonna obviously even on a discount spend a lot of money for the Pro, and I'm paying a lot of money for this TV. I don't want to hear shit about 8K. For another 4 years.
I mean, I'm with you. Your wallet's screaming no. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't announce the new thing.
But if I do go broke buying all of these things, PlayStation has, sort of solved an issue when it comes to buying new games. I can potentially just trade in my trophies for credit to buy new games.
Oh, wow! You snuck in that segue. You snuck in that segue pretty damn good.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Listen, if we were on video, I'll be taking a bow right now. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. People are throwing roses up on stage, standing ovation.
Thank you. All right, so now apparently, if you sign up for Sony's rewards. So let me full disclosure. I have Sony rewards. I do have I have a PlayStation card. It's my emergency credit card. I usually do buy some things on there and pay it off right away. I do have a high interest rate on it. However, I do have it because I do get reward points, and I use the points to get free PlayStation Plus off their rewards website. So I do not pay the $60 for the PlayStation Plus. I get it free every year.
So the Sony rewards card is their credit card, right?
Yes, but now going forward, not retroactively. If you opt into their rewards, you can trade in your trophies for credit.
Really?
So 100 silver trophies gives you 100 points. 25 gold trophies gives you 250 points, and 10 platinum trophies gives you 1,000 points. And let me just give you hold on, let me just go to the Sony Rewards website, and this will give you sort of like an idea of what the points.
Well, it says
what you can buy with certain points.
It says here like 1,000 points will get you about $10. So you have to grind out.
I'm not
10
well,
games.
I'm not gonna. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna actually go to the rewards website and let you know. Like right now, I have 1,096 reward points.
What can that get you?
Well, it can get me $50 off a TV.
Hey, all right.
If I buy it off of the reward, again, it has to be the reward site.
Right.
So, hold on, let me just deals catalog. Let me go to games. Tell you what they're. So, like right now, 12 months PlayStation Plus is about 5,999 points.
So
right?
it's basically like it's like 60 for a year, so that matches up pretty closely.
Yeah, and then like Call of Duty right now, not on sale because they usually have like on sale the games on sale where it's like point. And I'm talking about physical. This is physical. I'm getting physical editions for collectors out there right now. Call of Duty WW2 is 5,000. It's almost 6,000 points. So I love their reward system on their credit card. Again, I use the credit card only in emergencies or. Because I want the points, because I want to get the free PS Plus, which is like 6,000 points. I use it and pay it off right away. Like I use it when I know I have the money. So this is pretty cool. It's rumored that Microsoft may be in the works doing something similar. We don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And we don't know what Nintendo's doing. So.
Yeah, well, nobody knows what Nintendo's doing. They barely have any online infrastructure as it is. My take on it, I mean, it's cool. It's cool that Sony's doing it. It's cool that you can trade in your hard-earned effort and actually get something physical for it. It does take away from the whole aspect of like your trophy room or your like gamer score. It was supposed to be a way to be like, look, this is how good I am. This is my overall gamer ranking. You kind of look at someone's things and see like, oh, this is all the cool things that I have now. Now it's not a measure of that anymore. Now you can just use it to buy stuff.
Well, you have to listen. That is up to you whether you are grinding because you want the points, right? Where if there weren't any points, you wouldn't grind to get a platinum, or you're grinding to get a platinum for just to be braggadocious, right? I would equate this with collecting, right?
Yeah.
Like the more games you have, the more I can trade in and get the new shiny thing for a fraction of the price.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep the games and have a huge collection. So that is what you have to gauge.
Yeah, and I guess the way to kind of look at it is you're getting rewarded in some small way for playing video games, which is
yes.
Cool.
They keep you coming back for more.
Yeah. Well,
so we talked about Nintendo. We don't know what Nintendo's going to do with their online system. We watched Stranger Things, right? Season 2, on our TVs. I watched some of it on my iPad.
Sure.
I was on the go. I watched it on the train. However, now we can watch Hulu on our Switches.
Yeah.
Kind of weird because I don't know. I mean, I guess just it's always good to have the option to watch things on the Switch, but the Switch doesn't have, you don't have a chip in here, right? So you don't have data, you don't have service. So watching it on the go is kind of weird when you need a Wi-Fi connection.
Well, I mean, to that aspect, like Hulu, I don't think does this, but okay, you have like YouTube Red, right? Say they put out the YouTube app tomorrow. You have YouTube Red. You can download a bunch of stuff and watch it later.
Really, I didn't know that. That I did not know.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you obviously have an iPad. You've been using your iPad. You use that as your like portable video screen. So there's a lot of people that don't. This can double as their like portable iPad for video, which is kind of neat.
Well, I have I have a family share plan, and the iPad I have is sort of like the third line on my family share plan. Right. So I needed a third line. I didn't obviously trust anybody else to make a deal with them to give them a cell phone.
Yeah.
So I just used my iPad. Right. I was like, all right, I'll take it with me. Right. Now that I'm actually trying to switch service, I'm going to switch to Verizon. Where I can have just two phones, and my phone could be a hotspot, so I don't even need an iPad now because I can just use my phone as a hotspot.
Yeah.
For the Switch or my iPad or whatever. So this is cool. Netflix. I mean, we did this story. We talked about the story like I think over the summer where Netflix, not executive. I think someone called into Netflix and it was like a customer service rep said, "Yeah, the app is ready." Right, we're just waiting on Nintendo.
Need to get that green light. Yeah, and this, basically Hulu is kicking down the door for other app developers now. Once Nintendo puts this out, they're gonna have to have some sort of way to download it from their store. They're gonna have an app section now, most likely. So, I think definitely more apps are on the way. Hopefully YouTube and Netflix are like right around the corner.
Well, you know what we're not going to get more of on the Switch or at all?
I do.
Miiverse.
Yeah.
So Nintendo finally closed the doors to Miiverse.
November 7th, I think, was their
it was the last day. Midnight, November 7th. A lot of people posted on Miiverse saying goodbye, and Nintendo used all of those posts, those goodbye posts, and put them together sort of a collage and shaded it out. So it's like a big like a me face with the winky eye, and it says "Thank you."
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's really nice. It's sad they didn't carry it over to the Switch. I thought that was awesome, but I guess they're kind of trying out some new stuff. But
which is good. Try something new. And first of all, if we're paying $20 a year for this, it got to be better than what the Miiverse was. I mean, Miiverse was cool, and I hope they use some aspects of Miiverse because when you play certain games, it can tell you, hey, this part is hard. If you turn your Miiverse on, like it'll be like, hey, yeah, this part of the game is super hard. Yeah. Right. And you can leave tips for people too, or you can leave nasty comments. Which is always interesting. All right, let's stay with the Switch. There's a report out in Japan that devs who passed on the Switch are now scrambling to make games for it.
Sure.
So pretty much people thought when Nintendo said that they were making a hybrid console that they were crazy, and no one was really. I mean, this is nothing new. No one was crazy about making games for it before it was released or announced. Developing games for it, at least for its launch. I mean, EA is still saying that they're going to take their time and try to see, let's wait a year until it's been out for a year and see.
Yeah, I mean, like it's certainly proven itself by now. It's the hottest selling console. I think it's doing real well. Tons of great first party support. Tons of great indie games.
They think they want to sell like 20-30 million by the end of next year, which is crazy. Which will beat the Wii U lifetime sales.
Yeah.
Which is at like 14 million.
If even.
Well, one of those developers who had no faith in the Switch is Bandai Namco, and like a recent meeting, I hate these conference calls and these meetings. Like, why do I need to be privy to? I don't want to hear about it. Just make it. Just make the games. I don't want to hear what the internals are, right? But pretty much they're saying that they're scrambling to make games, and they have 3 big Switch games in the works for 2018. One of them I can right now tell you it's going to be Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z most assuredly will be on that system. I could wager
That's their
a guess.
biggest game next year. That's their biggest game that's coming out next year.
I could wager a guess a port of Tekken 7 will probably be coming.
That is true. Tekken 7. But I mean, obviously, Dragon Ball Z is their biggest franchise. It's the biggest game coming out next year. That has to be a game that's coming out. That they're gonna port. I honestly don't know why people doubted this. I mean, I know you said you understand and you see why people thought that this wasn't going to be a success, but I don't.
Yeah, because I mean, look at how bad. Look at how bad the Wii, look at how bad the original Wii did with their third-party support. Nobody knew how to make games for it properly. The only people who knew what to do with it were Nintendo, because they made it.
I know, but the Wii sold like hotcakes. It's like the second best-selling console of all time.
No. The system itself did do really well, but they kind of caught on to that whole like mobile simple game phenomenon, and it was a whole new thing. It was real easy to get into. The games that people were playing were Wii Sports, to some degree Mario Kart, right? You know, they're very...
And watching Netflix.
Well, there you go. Sure.
Nintendo. Sure. You put Hulu on first, and that Netflix. When Netflix, you were there with Netflix from the beginning since the Wii.
I know, but that was not necessarily a barometer to say, oh, okay, Nintendo, this is the system I want to make games for, because someone like the architecture completely different than the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to basically build a whole new game for that system. And they did. They made Call of Duty. They made Assassin's Creed. They made a couple of Madden games. They made a handful of games exclusively for that system. They made a specific version for that system. They didn't sell that well, even though there was like millions and millions of Wiis out there. And then the Wii U comes along, and it's just nobody knew what it was. The marketing was bad.
Well, everyone thought it was just an add-on for the Wii.
Well, right, exactly. There was everything that was bad about it, and again, third-party support was very poor. There was almost no good third-party games for it.
No, in the beginning it was great. Just no one bought it.
Well, maybe, sure, but then it ended up dying off real quick. So I get that. It's just like when you look at Sega. Sega puts out the Sega CD and the 32X and all these other peripherals and everything else, and they're like, oh, these aren't doing well. I don't know if I'm going to make a game for the system, you know?
Well, just look at this. Listen. Nintendo, unlike Nintendo's been around for like 100 years.
It has.
They've been around a long time.
Yeah, since the late
1800s. I think they're allowed a stinker. Okay, the Virtual Boy is considered a handheld, right? It's in the category of handheld, so I don't really count the Virtual Boy in that category. But console stinker, everyone's allowed a stinker. I'm not saying they're not, and if any company is, Nintendo is, but it's going to be an uphill battle to get people to make games for your system. They have the IP, so I'm not betting against them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bet against Nintendo. They have the IP.
I mean, I definitely had high hopes for this, but still, I think we're definitely going to be on two different sides of the argument here.
We have another year or two before we start seeing an influx of like great third-party games on here.
Agreed.
So, but I think they're coming. I think we will see the ports of certain games, just like to a certain extent the Wii, but more the GameCube era, to where it was like, it's on a GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation 2. Right?
Well,
I think you'll see that.
Yeah, definitely. I think really like the true test is when you get the exclusive third-party AAA title. Then it's all over. Then it's like, all right, Nintendo won. They're back.
I don't think it'd be exclusive. I just think that they're back.
No. But I mean, like, wouldn't that be awesome though? Like,
it would. But I don't think it'll be exclusive. I think Bayonetta 3 would be exclusive. But I think, games like Bayonetta 3 would be exclusive. But I think we'll see. I think Nintendo is back when we truly get that. It won't be with Far Cry 5, but just as an example, Far Cry 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Hey, this is out. It's on the Switch too.
Yeah. They'll end up going to the trouble of putting in the dev time to make a specific version for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's when they're back.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to get into some sad news. Telltale Games, TT Games,
right.
as we. Well, it's a sad day. I'm not going to make fun of them. Pretty much sort of did a corporate restructure of the company, and they laid off about 25% of their staff
A little
because
bit
of
of
it.
downsizing.
They said this will not affect all the games that they have in the pipeline, like the Wolf Among Us 2. They still have Batman. They just finished the Guardians of the Galaxy episode 5, which I'm halfway through. I didn't want to mention it until I actually beat it. As far as what I'm playing, I started it. I did like the first 30, 40 minutes of it. I didn't really finish it yet, so I'll talk about that more next week. Just I hope everyone. It's a sad. It's always sad to hear people. In The Walking Dead season 4, the last, which will be the last. It's always sad to hear when people are laid off. It's always, just a complicated situation because you understand every company has cost cutting measures that they.
Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to be lean and mean, and
Well, hopefully, the people who were affected by this, land on their feet and get another gig.
Yeah,
maybe they can get a gig with Grezzo, right? Am I saying that right? Is it Grezzo?
Grezzo, yes, Grezzo is the dev.
Grezzo, the dev, the makers by the port. They made the port of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask
3DS. Yep,
for the 3DS. They posted a job listing looking for someone, looking for a dev who will, in quote, would you like to make a Legend Together 2? Now they had the same quote when they posted it, looking for devs. I would say mid late 2000s when they ported Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask to the 3DS. They had would you like to make a Legend Together? Now they have 2. Now everyone's going crazy about this. It's a Zelda remake. This is a Zelda remake. Is it a Zelda remake, Dave? And that 2-part question. Is it a Zelda remake? Are they going to port another Zelda game? And if so, is it going to the Switch or is it going to the 3DS? Because the 3DS is not dead. Nintendo is still supporting it.
Is it a new Zelda game or is it a remake? Are those my two
No,
options?
it's not going to be a new Zelda game. It's probably going to be a remake.
Okay.
They do great port jobs. So apparently
they do.
Yeah.
No, the 3DS versions were fantastic. I mean, maybe I think it's going to be okay. If it comes out for the 3DS, it's going to be a new Zelda game, I think.
Wow. You
I
think it's going to be like a 2D Zelda?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not going to get Breath of the Wild on the 3DS. It'll be like Link Between Worlds style, top down. 3D in the respect of you can go in all 4 directions around the world, but it's not going to be like 3D in the way the camera is for Breath of the Wild. I mean, I don't know what else could they could they update?
Maybe Skyward Sword for the Switch, right? Without the waggle controls, because I never played Skyward Sword. I never played Skyward Sword.
They could actually make it a decent entry into the Zelda Zelda franchise.
Yes.
That's certainly a possibility. They've already done just about every other game already, in some way, shape, or form. Breath of the Wild is kind of a reboot of the first Legend of Zelda, so I mean to redo that would be interesting, but I don't think they would. Skyward Sword's a good bet, So Skyward Sword's a good bet.
Well, apparently they made the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, the Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Anniversary Edition. They did Majora's Mask, they did Triforce Heroes, and they did Ever Oasis for the 3DS. So they do a lot of 3DS games.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that this is probably a port to the 3DS, maybe a Link to the Past, right?
Maybe, and that would be awesome.
Or maybe one of those obscure, not mainline title Zelda games, right?
You want to get that you want to get that Tingle exclusive game that came out in Japan?
You never know.
Yeah.
Well, they also made a game called The Legend of Legacy, so maybe you never know.
Legend of Legacy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like January 2005 for the 3DS.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe maybe that's what the legend is, part 2.
Could be.
Well, a game that's actually been rumored, but everyone has been shooting this down. There was a rumor
now squashed.
It is now squashed. Actually, it was a rumor that Rocksteady. Well, first of all, as soon as Rocksteady said that they were done with Batman, that everyone was natural transition to Superman game, right? A good Superman game.
Sure. It technically is a completely different license. You know, is all new contracts need to be worked up. You don't just get Superman when you get the Batman license.
Yes, I mean that means you have a working relationship with Warner Brothers, who own Batman, all the DC characters.
Yeah.
So everyone just like, hey, Superman, and there was a rumor going around that they've been working on a Superman game. It's going to be announced in the next week, and it's going to be the Game Informer cover of December.
Yeah.
Andrew Reiner, who works for Game Informer, pretty much said no.
Yeah.
So he shot that rumor down. Apparently, a lot of the industry journalists are saying they have heard nothing about this. There was nothing to back up this rumor.
So it's kind of just a fan pipe dream.
It's just like a pipe dream, yeah.
Nah.
But the internet was on fire, midweek about this, like Superman game being announced in the next week, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, oh my god,
God, how great would that be, though? Like,
here's the problem with Superman, just as a character. He's sort of the greatest villain, right? Like he's his own worst enemy, like he is
because he's just too powerful.
He's just too powerful, right? Like he's like you have to make his story arc that he's holding back. Like that's
right. He could crush anybody,
right? Like I could crush everybody, but I don't want to because I have this moral sense to me, right? Like how can you not crush a bag? Like why I love Injustice, the game, so much is because Superman snaps, right? Like it's like, hey, I killed the Joker because every time we capture him, he gets out and he kills somebody, and he killed Lois Lane, right? So I'll just snap his neck and he won't kill anybody else. Right? So Injustice is so interesting because Superman really is sort of like, a villain. Like you don't know whether like his heart is in the right place where he wants to kill all the villains, right? But then it's like he takes it too far, right? Now he's like, oh well, everyone has to have, like he takes it too far. What happens when Superman takes it too far? Right? And he wants to be a dictator. Power goes to your head, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you end up getting Superman Returns, right? Or not Superman Returns, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Yeah,
so,
you get Man of Steel.
I hope that this, I hope this is true. I hope Rocksteady is working on a Superman game. It's just how can you, with Batman, he's just a man in a suit, right? He can get hurt. If he has to dodge a rocket launcher. Superman doesn't. So how do you make that game interesting? I think if anybody can find that sweet spot, that good, gameplay mechanic, they could.
Most definitely, yeah.
So, all right. Speaking of Injustice, I was watching online. They announced that one of these sort of Evo type events, Ninja Turtles are coming to Injustice. Now, I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan. They were my favorite cartoon and toys as a kid.
Yeah.
But when Ninja Turtles came on, the crowd went bananas. Just the announcement alone, just like look it up on YouTube. If you find it on YouTube, just the announcement when you saw Raphael for the first time and all the other turtles came out, everyone went ballistic. Just the announcement of Turtles in Injustice was like,
I mean, they are comic book characters. They do fit in the universe. They were originally Image I think it was Image Comics. You know, they had that whole comic series, and they became the cartoons. You know, they're badass. So I get why people were going nuts over it. You know, I think it's gonna be good. So we're gonna get the 4 turtles
as DLC characters.
Okay. Are they gonna be adding anybody else into the mix? Like that's the question. Are we gonna get to see like a Shredder and maybe
to the turtles? I mean, I guess you could, if you want to continue and again, microtransactions, right? This is our DLC, right? Season pass, keep you buying more of the game, right?
I mean,
they can add on more Ninja Turtle characters.
You could put. I mean, they got to have villains to go up against, right? Throw like Shredder in there. That'd be great.
Well, the novelty is
Casey Jones?
the novelty is you can play like Michelangelo or Leonardo versus Superman, right? Right? Versus a bad guy in the DC universe versus Joker, right? So everyone went crazy because Ninja Turtles, like, I've been dying for a good Ninja Turtles game. Like, I love Turtles in Time, but we're just never going to get that style of game. And the new Ninja Turtle games that came out like 2-3 years ago just was bad.
Yeah. Not too good.
Just was bad. And I thought we'll end on this. Since we get into nostalgia, talk about Ninja Turtles. Toe Jam and Earl, back in the groove. Okay, this game has actually been delayed until 2018. It was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah. I
played it.
I played it when we were at
PAX.
we were at PAX East. Yeah, 2017.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Full circle. We started the show talking about PAX, and we're going to end the show talking about PAX. We played the game.
There we go. And it was just like classic. It was just like the first Toe Jam and Earl. You know, it was just like Panic on Funkatron. You know, brought back all the good memories. It was great. I was talking to one of the dev guys about it, and they just seem generally excited to be working on the game. I was like, this is great. I'm glad you guys have the license. It was really cool. So I guess it needs more time. They have to put that polish on there. You know what I'd love to see? I would love to see a crossover with like Toe Jam and Earl and Futurama. Yeah, sure.
They just go together.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's funny. I just feel like they go together.
Yeah. So it looks like the game is still going to be on track. It's just going to be delayed a little bit. Fans are definitely all about this. Because it was originally a Kickstarter thing, right?
Yes.
And they did definitely bust through their goal, which is awesome. So I don't think it's dead in the water.
No, it's not dead. It's just delayed.
Yeah. I guess that about does it. That's episode 93 in the books. Getting very close to the 100. Episode 100.
If we keep this up, we'll have episode 100 for our first show in the new year. And we got a couple of things that we've been talking about. A couple of surprises, more guests on the show. So you never know. Just stay tuned.
Yeah. I think next week gonna have a little bit of turkey talk. Thanksgiving's right around the corner, so for all our American listeners, I can look forward to some stories there. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and on YouTube at Rated G for Gamers if you want to get in touch. You can always email us at ratedgforgamers@gmail.com. So please like, listen, subscribe, and as always,
keep gaming.